Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us on this Thursday. You're watching the 9 at Night. I'm Stephania Jimenez. Northside ISD is telling us one of its schools was on modified lockdown today after a stranger was found on campus. Investigators say that that person was later discovered to also have a weapon in a backpack. According to the school district, the person got away when they were approached by staff, but later district police arrested them. That's when officers found the weapon. Now we're told that person is facing criminal charges. Nobody was hurt, but the district says that it takes all potential threats on campus seriously, and they're reminding students, staff, and families that if they see something, they should say something. SWAT officers shot and killed a driver, and Seguin police are telling us that it all started with an attempted traffic stop. Just before 2 this morning, police say they tried to pull over a driver, but officers say that 42-year-old Alejandro Saucedo kept driving. Eventually, he did stop. At some point, police say that Saucedo pointed a firearm at Guadalupe County SWAT members who then fired at him. Police say that Saucedo was then shot and killed. A passenger in the vehicle with him is facing 3 charges, including interference with public duties. As Bexar County Sheriff's deputies raided an illegal gambling operation, a group of people inside the site ran away and they stormed into a nearby home. Super scary. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar says that deputies executed a search warrant for a gambling operation this morning in the 200 block of Menifee Boulevard. He says that 12 people ran away. They forced their way into a nearby home where a family was inside, including kids.
Thankfully, everybody's okay. We were able to get those suspects out without anybody being injured, but obviously they're shaken up as a result of it.
Now, the 12 people were charged with criminal trespass of a habitation. 4 other people were charged with keeping a gambling place. 2 others had felony warrants for unknown charges. 3 of the 19 detained are also facing drug charges. Now, the trial for a man charged with murder continued this afternoon. Luis Alvarado is accused of fatally shooting Santos Cedillo outside of a southwest side apartment complex in 2021. Yesterday, the jury in that trial saw cell phone footage of the shooting. Today, the trial continued with the lead investigator in the case telling the court that eyewitness statements and the video were key to charging him. As for the defense, Alvarado is expected to take the stand at some point and say that the victim was the aggressor and that he feared for his life. If he's convicted, he's facing up to life in prison. We don't have as many migrants passing through San Antonio, but the city's Migrant Resource Center could stay open through the end of the year. The center, which opened in July, is run by Catholic Charities, and migrants coming through the city can go there for food, a place to stay, and also help with travel. Today, the City Council voted to approve asking the federal government to cover its share of the cost through December. Officials say that changes to federal immigration policies have caused the number of migrants to fall sharply in the past 2 months, but with the pandemic-era border restriction policy known as Title 42 expected to end in May, that could change again.
It's really very up in the air. Initially we thought there would be a surge, but there are other administration policies that are being put in place or are being proposed that may impact that.
The city's Human Services Director says getting the federal reimbursement gives them the option of keeping the center open through December, but she did not have an estimate on exactly how long it would actually stay open. A second body today was recovered amid the search for twin boys who disappeared in the water off of Pleasure Pier in Galveston. The Galveston Island Beach Patrol told KPRC, our sister station in Houston, that someone walking on the beach found a body about 10 feet from the shoreline. Authorities say the body matched the description of the remaining missing twin. His brother was found dead on Tuesday along the beach. 13-year-old twins Jefferson and Josue Perez were last seen on the west side of the pier on Sunday. Family members say that they did not see them go underwater. It's really a simple message. Don't drink and drive. You've heard it a million times. Well, TxDOT was out at UTSA today reminding students of that message because spring break is next week. TxDOT's driving display called Drive Sober, No Regrets gave students the chance to see how difficult and dangerous it can be to drive drunk. The thinking there is that it's going to make them plan a sober ride.
The hardest thing was definitely staying in my lane. I was swerving all over the place, crashed a couple of times, like I said, and definitely would have been a good experience if that was in real life.
Now, in addition to the simulator, the display also has a 15-foot-long video wall which shares testimonies from Texans who have been personally affected by drunk driving. Get ready for some weather changes. Meteorologist Mia Montgomery has your forecast for tomorrow.
We've got some changes that are expected to move into south central Texas through the overnight hours as the first of two cold fronts in the forecast arrives, especially after about 9 to 11 p.m. We could find a few isolated stronger storms, especially across our far western counties. Not going to be for everybody here. And through the overnight hours, we will have the potential to find some scattered rain push in from the west. We'll keep eyes on that, and especially in and around San Antonio. By the time we are waking up for the Friday morning drive, stepping out the door, we may briefly need to use the windshield wipers. A few lingering showers possible before that activity works farther off to the east throughout the remainder of the morning. So we'll keep eyes on the radar through the overnight. We'll start off Friday in the low 60s with some of that cloud cover in place into the afternoon hours. We'll find some more peaks of sunshine as that breaks up. Temperatures headed for the mid 70s here in town. So about 10 degrees cooler than what we saw out there earlier this afternoon. Warmer, though, significantly as we head into Saturday, mid to upper 80s for those daytime highs. And then that second cold front will move in early Sunday, and that will bring in some cooler and drier air for the start of next week.
Do better. That's what the Food and Drug Administration is telling baby formula manufacturers to do, even as the formula shortage does seem to ease up. Now, in a letter, the FDA wrote factories that they need to work harder to keep salmonella and other bacteria out of its products. In addition to following current requirements, the FDA now wants companies to voluntarily report positive bacteria tests, reduce water in dry production areas, test surfaces for bacteria, and also make sure that raw ingredients are safe. That request comes after 2 months of meetings with the FDA and manufacturers. Facilities also need to have corrective measures in place for when the bacteria is actually discovered. Now, before we go from Yeti coolers to blankets to power banks that you use to charge your phone, millions of products are being recalled. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz has our recall roundup, starting with critter toys linked to the tragic deaths of a baby and a toddler.
Calico critter toys are popular. Now more than 3 million are recalled after 2 children died. The toys are flocked animal figurines, but the bottle and pacifier accessories are choking dangers. They were sold at Walmart and Amazon. Families are urged to take the bottle and pacifier away from children and contact Epic Everlasting Play for replacements. Nearly 2 million Yeti coolers are recalled. The problem is the high-powered magnets used to close them. They can detach, and if a child swallows the magnets, they can be deadly. The recall involves the Hopper soft cooler and soft backpack and Sidekick dry gear case. They were sold at Dick's Sporting Goods, Academy, and more for the past 5 years. Contact Yeti for a refund. Electric blanket alert. 350,000 BedSure electric blankets and pads are recalled after more than 100 reports of fire, melting, and people suffering serious burns. They were sold on Amazon last year. Get your money back. And if you use this power bank to charge your phone, tablet, or laptop, stop. 42,000 Anker 535 power banks are recalled because they can overheat and start a fire. Look for the model number A1366. Lithium-ion batteries shouldn't be thrown in the trash or the recycler. They're considered hazardous waste. You can contact the company to get your money back. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Right. Just like that, we are out of time. That is it for the 9 at Night. Have a great night. We'll see you.